Alright, so I have opened Photoshop. I've got an old version of Photoshop here, CS3. I don't know, it's 10 years old, maybe 12. Um, anyway, old version of Photoshop, and I found this picture of the cigarette smoking man, and this is zoomed in as far as it goes. And that is not very high resolution, but the thing is that we're going to be cutting it into a styrofoam pumpkin. So the pixels don't really matter anyway. We're going to lose a lot of detail when we do this. All right, so I'm going to copy this guy and go to Photoshop, Control N. That makes a new document that's the same size as the thing that I've copied on my clipboard. And then I'm going to paste it. Control V is paste. Now let's see. I want to think about how I'm going to frame this guy for my pumpkin. Now, the thing that you got to remember about a pumpkin is that it's only going to be black and white, or orange and yellow. Well, black and yellow. Anyway, the parts that you don't carve out are going to be they're going to be black, and the parts that you do carve out are just going to be the light shining through the holes, right? So we've got to think about how big of the holes we want to cut out, and what parts of this image are iconic and what parts are just going to be lost. So I'm going to get my crop tool, and I'm going to crop it pretty close. I got to get that cigarette in there. That'll probably be pretty good. Now I may not want to cut out this collar part. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I need to get this kind of the shape of his face, the shape of his hand roughly, and the shape of that cigarette. That's what I'm after. All right. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is tiny. I want to go ahead and blow it up. I have a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so that means with the margin of 1/2 inch on each side, that's 7.5 inches. And then it's by 11, so if we took an inch off the top and bottom, that would be 9, and this is 8.8, so it's good. It'll be good when we cut it out. All right. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to reduce this to nothing but black and white. So I'm going to add an adjustment layer. That might be the thing I want. It's been a while. No, that's not it. I want to do a threshold. Haha. That's it. That's the ticket. Okay. So what we have here is it's taken the photo, and this triangle here on this histogram. Now, what this means is these are all of the black pixels in the image, and these are all of the white pixels in the image. And you can see that it's, you know, the majority of the image is black. But we can drag this slider either way. We can drag it this way, or we can drag it this way. Okay, and you can see that you know, you lose something every time you drag it. Okay, so if we had a pumpkin and we had this shape carved out of it, where we carved out these white parts, and that's where the light shined through, I don't think anybody'd be able to tell what that is. Okay. Oh, now that's getting pretty good. Okay, let's see. That is pretty good. Now what we got to think about. Okay, I'm going to remember where that is. It's about right there. Okay. Now what we have to recognize is that some of these white areas are going to be too small to cut out. So we're going to lose some detail when we try to cut it out. So we got to recognize that. We also have to recognize that the white areas cannot float in midair. They have to be attached. They have to be attached to the part that we're not cutting away. So like this black part is pumpkin. We can cut out this white shape and it'll be fine. And we can cut out this white shape, and maybe that one. We can cut out this white shape. So that's going to be fine. This white shape for his bottom lip, we can't. Yeah, we can cut that out. What can't we do? Let's see. Need a good example of what we can't do. We can't have a big black shape floating out there attached to nothing. All of the black shapes have to connect. Okay, so like that's just barely connected. That'll be a really flimsy piece of pumpkin hanging out there. All right, but you know, I mean, that's actually pretty good. I'm liking that. Let's see. We had it down here before. Let's see. So cutting out these big white chunks. We got to leave enough black together for it to be sturdy. So if we go up here, then this piece of pumpkin, this black piece of pumpkin, it's not attached to anything. It's got to be attached somewhere. Right? These black pieces of his nose, this big black island here, that's floating out in the middle of nothing. So that's clearly too far. If we bring it back here, there's some hope that this thing's going to be recognizable. We are going to have to fix it in a few places. Well, not that many. I mean, this is this big black island. Yeah. Got a lot to think about. I kind of like the collar there. Cut that collar out. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to work. Let's give it a shot. All right, so I'm going to print this guy out, and then we're going to cut it out with an X-Acto knife. We're going to pin it to our pumpkin. We're going to trace around it. Then we're going to cut out all the pieces that we plan on cutting out, and then we'll see what it looks like. And it'll be fun. Thanks.